friends, it's Miss Dom, and today we're going to be taking those flat pieces of paper that we added some decorations to and added some color to, and we're going to start turning those papers into forms and turning those forms into a sculpture. And this is the fun part. I have to admit, I have a lot of fun getting this started, and I'm going to complete it right now, and hopefully everything works out and you can sort of watch the process. Now, my goal is just to share with you the process. My goal is not, again, I think I said this before, for you to copy what I do, but I think it would be helpful for you to see me work through it so that you can sort of understand where we're going with this and what the possibilities are. So right now I'm sitting on a little step stool, and this is right in front of me, and it's not a good way to work, so I'm going to sit up. I started off here so you can sort of see me talking to you, but in a few minutes I want you to focus on this. So I'm going to sit up a little bit so I can work and talk you through what I've got so far. So what I've got here underneath is just that Cheerios box that I talked about before. I'm going to use this as my base. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut out a shape for my base. Now, I might change this shape once I start building, but I'm just going to cut out the area where I painted. So I did use some acrylic paint. If you don't have paint, that's okay. You can go with the natural color of the cardboard, that's fine. So this is just a starting point. And I've got all these little components that I made. So this one right here, you can see I cut it into a tube shape, and I added some tabs. Now, in this slide, there are some just pictures of how you can make the tab. Basically, I took that tube and I cut slices into it and I folded it out. This is a piece that I cut out into an interesting shape and then I bent it. So I like curvy shapes, so I created some curving shapes and forms to build and put together. Okay, so I've got this. Now, right now it's kind of top heavy, it's gonna fall over. So I'm gonna need to tape or glue. What I've done so far is use tape because it's quickest. You can use a clothespin if you use glue to hold things together if you need to. Last time, I think I called it a laundry clip or something. I couldn't, for some reason, clothespin didn't come to my brain. Here's another one that I did. Okay, so I'm going to start putting these forms that I've created together and try and find an interesting way to tie them all together. All right, so let me just show you this one right here. I just cut a shape and then I cut a curl out of it so that I could stretch it out and do something that way with it. It's sort of popping up. This one, I just bent the ends. It's just an interesting shape, and then I'm going to turn that into an arch and incorporate that. This one I sort of curved in different directions, and then again I had to cut the bottom to make tabs so that it could stand. This one I was kind of excited about how this one turned out, and it was pretty simple to make. I'm gonna take it, oh, I've already taped it. Well, basically, I'm gonna get a piece of blank paper, and if you want to do this to start with and just experiment with the blank paper that you have left over. All right, so I started out cutting my paper into sections, and I have a picture of that for you to see. And then if I take this and just fold it in half and cut a tab out of it, okay, I just cut a little tab, and now I could take it and sort of roll it and tuck one end of the shape. Doesn't work very well. I can tuck that, make the tab, should have made the tab go the other direction. And again, this is why you sort of need to experiment. All right, yeah. So I can take this and sort of go through the shape with that tab that I cut, and then once you get something that you like, you can get your tape and tape it up. All right, so now I've got this interesting curl, and then I could take this one and maybe go the other direction and tape it that way. And again, this is really fun to just play with and experiment. So I'm just giving you ideas, and then what I was kind of thinking as I was doing this is, what if these were like giant sculptures that you could, you know, this was like a yard, you know, like a big open space, and then you could have people walk around and look up at your sculptures if they were really big, but right now they're small. So I'm going to think of some ways to put them together and create something interesting. So again, I'm using tape. I also like tape because with glue, once you glue it down, it's kind of there. So with tape, you do have the option of repositioning things. If I just put like one piece of tape there to start with, I can pull it up and move it around if I need to. So let's see, I think I need to get some of these larger pieces on here first, and then figure out what I'm going to do with the smaller ones. So I'm just getting one piece of tape to start with, and then I'll add more tape if I decide this is how I want it to stay. So, you know, if the one piece of tape is not going to keep it there, but it's a good start. So I need to sort of position and think about how these, ooh, I like how these two now are sort of connecting when I put it like that. I don't know if you can see that. So now this one and this one are sort of interacting with each other. I like that. So I'm gonna go with that. So again, you're gonna be doing some experimenting. As you can see with that little example I did, the first thing you try might not be the right thing. You just have to look at it and think about it and decide what works and what doesn't work, and how these elements can fit together. So I'm not sure if this should stay here, but I like those other two where they are. So right now I like what's going on there. I could even have something coming out from it. I don't think I'm going to do that though. Right, I'm going to put this one a little bit further away, and then maybe connect these with this. Okay. So again, I am playing and it's fun. So I'm going to put that one back there and figure out, maybe I'll connect them with this. Oh, that's better. Okay, so I was going to connect them with just this little arch, but I just picked up this interesting curling shape that I made, and I think that's a better way to connect them. And that's what I'm going to do. And again, I'm just talking through my creative process, and you know, yours isn't going to look like mine, but this is sort of the way that I want you to be thinking, to sort of have an idea of what you like, but understand that that idea could change as you're building. And so if something isn't working, doesn't look right, try something else and see if that works. Okay, so now all of them are sort of connected